Hi everyone, I'm Ken from Crypto Trading KS. Everything I do for you is free. If you're new, welcome, and welcome back to our regular community. Twice a day, 7 days a week, I share my experience as a full-time crypto trader. My goal is to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Let's run the numbers. Bitcoin currently trading at 32,904, Ethereum 2055. Bitcoin is down 3.74%, Ethereum is down 6.11%. The stablecoins USDC, DAI, USDT, and BUSD are mixed, some red, some green. When a stablecoin is red, it means that money is flowing from that stablecoin out into the crypto market, so we should see more green starting to go into the market. The opposite occurs in the other direction. In the previous episode, episode 97, we did a really deep dive on the daily overview. That's a really important video. If you haven't seen that, please have a look. It's really important to look at. For those people new to the channel, welcome of course. I want to just explain that everything I do for you is free. It absolutely is. I don't have any groups, reports, indicators. I don't put leverage trading links in. I don't show you how to trade. And I don't get involved in the sort of fundamental side of the market. I look at it, of course, but not as much as some other groups do. The important thing to know is that there are a tremendous number of fantastic groups out there. Many of our members in this little community have come from other groups where the owner of that group is very caring and just wants to supplement your knowledge. I very much appreciate you being here. Unfortunately, we do tend to get a lot of scammers. If I respond to you, you'll see this, Crypto Trading KS, and I always try to respond to everyone. I've been a little snowed under recently, apologies, but I will definitely get back to everyone. You can see here, when something's pinned, it looks like that, and when I've replied, it looks like that. Just to give you a quick heads up. The most important thing, please don't get sucked in by scammers. In this technical analysis section, we look at the top 7% gainers and percent losers. The top 7, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Tether, Binance Coin, Cardano, DOGE, XRP. Let's have a look at the best gainer. NEAR, Celo, STX, XDC, HBAR, Helium and Waves. We're not seeing a lot of positive momentum in the market right now. Let's go the other way. The greatest losses today are TEL, T-Fuel, Aave, Maker, Terra, 0x or ZRX, Theta. Let's pop across to the greatest gainers over the past 7 days. XDC, Compound, ICP, Decred, Waves, Ethereum Classic, and Elrond. Going the other way, T-Fuel, Quant, Theta, Nexo, DOGE, GRT, and MATIC are registering the greatest 7-day percent losses. We always like to look through Binance derivatives, especially the change in the price of the contract over the past 24 hours. This gives us an insight into what the crypto market could be doing next. 24-hour trading volume is $60.54 billion. 24-hour open interest is about $5.5 billion. We just scroll through these looking for particularly the positives. That gives us an idea where the market may be concentrating its firepower. AXS has been up for quite a few sessions now. Quite a few episodes we've pointed this one out. Waves, HBAR have been up previously as well. Storage is just coming up now. It's always interesting cyclical movements in the market. IOST 1.6%, Lena 5.7%, NEAR, MTL has been up for quite a while, HNT as well. They're starting to lose a bit of their percentage gain. And Alice. Looks like the NFT plays are coming up at the moment. This just gives us a good understanding of what's happening underneath the crypto engine hood, if you like. Let's apply Rule 172 and zoom in. Episode 97, let's have a look at Bitcoin technical analysis. Episode 97, Bitcoin was trading at around 33,321. We can see that Bitcoin is above its structural support at 32,414. It's also below structural resistance at 34,267. There's a bit of a fight going on here to either move it up or move it down, but there's quite a lot of support under here. This is also a degree of resistance, so we need to keep our eye on this particular line. If we're talking support and resistance, under the current price, 32,414 and 32,054. Above the current price, 33,588 and 34,267. I think what's really happening is that the market just needs to get momentum to get above this 35,000 and turn it to support. It's really important to remember that price is always moving in a wave. It's always going up and down, up and down, up and down. This is quite normal. I called out before that I believe we're just going to get a higher low around this area. So we had a low here. This is a low, but it's higher than that one. And we'll probably get a low around here, which is a higher low. It doesn't matter where it occurs. The most important thing is that this trend line remains in play. That's quite important. One thing we always do is to try and understand Bitcoin's fingerprint. So we can see a McDonald's sign here. I love that. Thank you for the community members that call that out. It's really cool. We can see a bit of we could even say this is like a step up, and this is almost like a step down. That's particularly appropriate to this section. Let's see how this is playing across the other alts. Now we're looking at crypto total market cap. So this is representative of all the value of all cryptos in the market, of course including Bitcoin as well. That's currently trading at $1.333 trillion. Not a bad effort. We can see McDonald's in here. We can see the step up. Notice this step up was not quite clean. We can see step up here. Remember the steps down in Bitcoin? You see the distortion here? This is always really, really good for you to follow. You're looking for anomalies basically in Bitcoin's fingerprint because it plays out on all alts. Let's have a look at Ethereum. Ethereum, currently trading at 2038, has support below at 2020 and 1960. It also has structural support at 1909. If you haven't seen the video on structural support and resistance, how to draw it, I recommend you have a look at it. It's really interesting and a lot of people have found it helpful. Let's look at the McDonald's sign here and the steps up and the steps down. See, it's quite distorted in here. It's always following Bitcoin's fingerprint, but the key is how the gravity of Bitcoin alters different coins. We have resistance above the current price at 2100, 2178 and 2304. A lot of people new to the channel may not be aware that Bitcoin's fingerprint impacts all alts. That's a trading rule. It's really interesting. Let's have a look what that could look like here. I've just turned on the relative price of Bitcoin. You can see the price is right here, just registering live. It's on its own scale. Isn't it fascinating? This is how closely everything moves to each other. You can see Bitcoin relative to Ethereum. It's all following the same price action. When you know this, especially on sharp downward trajectories, this is important. This is why we look at Bitcoin, and it's a fundamental reason we need to understand market direction. If Bitcoin collapses, it takes all the alts with it, but they burn. It's really important to be on the right side. Please make sure that you watch that episode 97 before this one. It's really, really important. Let's have a look at Binance Coin. Binance Coin is currently trading at 277.63. It has support literally at that level. It has structural support below at 264.75 and psychological support at 250. Resistance above is 291.52 and 302.71. Just be aware of this structural resistance that's tending to compress Binance Coin's price, playing up around the 339 mark. If we turn on Bitcoin's relative price movement, see how much Bitcoin's gravity impacts the alts. It pulls it up and pushes it down. These sharp angles reflect, a lot of community members know these rules, price always moving in a wave. You can see, doesn't matter what the alt is actually following Bitcoin's fingerprint. It's quite astounding to see. Let's have a look at Cardano. ADA is currently trading at 130. It has support below at 128.48 and a good deal of structural support at 123.66 and 121.27. It has resistance above at 133.43, and probably the next real major one is around the 140 mark. Let's compare it to Bitcoin's fingerprint. We can see Cardano is roughly obeying Bitcoin's fingerprint, especially in sell-offs. You see this sort of gravity that's occurring here. You can see that relatively it was a little bit stronger here. These things are always good to know. I'd like to introduce you to Rule 119. Question instant reactions. If you find yourself instantly reacting to something, it's because there's a law inside you that may not be known. We always operate under laws outside of our awareness. And that law could have been violated knowingly or unknowingly. What happens in the market? If you have an instant reaction, the market will punish you for that. And it's not going to happen all at once, but it does tend to happen. There's a very important rule, Rule 666, which you can probably figure out is not a good rule, and that is markets humble. If we have very fixed ideas, fixed reactions, we know the market is going up, we know the market is going down, we really have to always act from a probabilistic stance. That's why I spent a lot of time in episode 97 trying to get those probabilities on our side. Whatever direction we're going in is the direction we're going in. Many, many years ago, I believed that I was more capable than the market. I was pretty sure it was going down when it was going up, because all the economic news pointed that direction and it was obvious to me. So I traded positions with that in mind. Those positions harm me financially. It's much more important to trade with the direction of the market. For example, you may have an instant reaction that some particular coin is rubbish, or I'm not going to swear on this channel because that's not who I am. The concept is it could be regarded as less than desirable. If you think like that, it's not necessarily that you're wrong. You could be absolutely correct. But the problem is that instant reaction could hide from the fact that something else may be happening under the surface that you may push from your awareness. Instant reactions are very dangerous in investing and trading. It's really, really important to keep an open mind. There's a very beautiful quote that I would like to share with you. Open-minded people embrace being wrong. They are free from illusions. They don't mind what people think of them and question everything, even themselves. This is a wonderful way to live. If you can embrace being wrong, you're already in the top 5% of people, because the majority of people don't want to be wrong. Nobody wants to be wrong. That's normal. But a lot of people can't be wrong. If you're in the market and you can't be wrong, the market will humble you. Rule 666. You want to avoid that rule at all costs. It's being very free of illusions that actually helps you to trade more effectively. You tend to suspend judgment. You don't look at a glass half full or half empty. You don't see the glass at all. There is no glass. It's all perception. This is very important. They question everything, even themselves. In episode 97, we questioned the thesis, is the market going up? And we asked the data to prove that it is, or if it isn't, and we hold no illusion. We're free of illusions. That's why always please check out the episode before this. It's really, really vital to check the lay and state of the market, because that will directly impact your trading and investing decisions. Let's have a look at Dogecoin. Dogecoin is currently trading at 24,221. It is above support at 23,393 and 22,200. It's been above these supports for quite a while. It's really hovering around its structural resistance, and now that is support at the current level. That's quite healthy for Doge. Doge has resistance above at 24,892 and also 25,735. Let's see how Bitcoin's gravity is affecting Dogecoin. We can see here that Doge is being pulled in the same direction. This is all about direction. Doge was stronger here. It was elongated up here. It had less of a drawdown here, but we can see it starting to normalize back. I think that this structural support here will be very important for Doge. And we know that when Bitcoin puts in a higher low and starts to recover, if that is the case, and I believe the probabilities are on that side, it's about 90% chance that Doge will do very well because it's on the other side of this resistance. That's always the key. Let's have a quick look at XRP. XRP is currently trading at 64.50. It's above structural support at 63.17 and then support at 60 cents and structural support again at 56.94. There's quite a lot of structural support down here for XRP. The real issue is that we're bumping into structural resistance. That's that heavy resistance. That is always a problem. When price gets to structural resistance, because it's strong, it normally backs off. That's why it's important to identify structural resistance as opposed to just light or normal resistance. Here we can see that we've got a bit of a consolidation under this. That's looking quite positive for XRP. Resistance above XRP is 65.60 and 67.40. Let's have a look how Bitcoin is impacting this particular alt. Bitcoin's fingerprint, Bitcoin's gravity impacts all alts. You can see that it's true. It's very easy to understand why we must spend so much time on Bitcoin. When people are new to crypto, they don't understand this. They tend to just dive into whatever particular alts they love, and because they don't know the rules of the market, they will get humbled by Rule 666. I don't want you to get humbled. I want you to be a blessing. So this really is important to understand. Even though we can say XRP is going down, it's just simply obeying Bitcoin's fingerprint. I've seen a number of people call out head and shoulders on XRP. Yeah, that's because there's one on Bitcoin. And that head and shoulder pattern, if you've viewed the previous episode, episode 97, and you know clearly the market direction, you really have to know it. If you don't, you'll get humbled by Rule 666. Please make sure that you see that episode before you see the technical one. It's critical. The idea, you know where the market is going, and because we know where the market is going, we can be confident in placing trades. If we don't know where the market is going, or we misinterpret it because we haven't collected enough fact, we can be in a lot of trouble. So please make sure you always look at that market update before you see the technical video. Let's have a look at Polkadot. Polkadot is currently trading at 14,919. It's at support, literally. It has support below at 14,023 and 12,911. It has resistance above at 15,357 and at 16,441. Let's see how Bitcoin's fingerprint is playing out on DOT. If we look at Bitcoin's fingerprint, we can see that DOT is following it directionally quite well. When it goes down, DOT goes down. When it goes up, DOT goes up. When it goes down, DOT comes down. When it goes up, there's always a gravity attached to an alt and Bitcoin itself. When the phasing goes out of phase, like here, I've been mentioning to people, keep your eye on DOT. I believe there's going to be a gravitational pull towards this firm structural resistance line up at 23,226. You can see that gap there. That means that even though we're moving in the same direction like this, we're getting discontinuous phases. When we get a discontinuous phase, it tends to synchronize sooner or later. That's what I'm looking for here. And just to let you know, I'm interested in DOT myself and taking positions in it. I think it's a really, really interesting project as well. Let's have a quick look at MATIC. MATIC is trading at 106,255, just pretty much at structural support right now. There's a good deal of structural support around the dollar mark and also 95,360. If we go up and have a look at resistance, it's at 112,672 and 118,745. Let's have a look at how this compares to Bitcoin's fingerprint. As we've seen with the other alts obey Bitcoin's gravity. It's just a way that it occurs. Now the gravity is not always absolute, so we can see Bitcoin came up, but MATIC came down. This can often be a result of structural resistance playing inside a particular coin, causing a distortion. The other thing can occur when you're on top of a structural resistance line and turned it into support. That can cause a coin to rally. These are really, really interesting things to be aware of. But overall, the pattern is following quite closely. And you see the structural resistance here. MATIC is having a bit of a hard time recently. I think it needs some love. MATIC is being pushed down by this structural resistance. But the good thing is when it actually gets to the other side of it, when the sun comes out again, and it will, we know price moves in waves. Everything that goes down, cycles up. In this case, when Bitcoin starts to repair itself, MATIC will do really well because it's been a bit squashed down. So the relativities in the BTC alt gearing will work in its favor. If you're new to that concept, please search out the BTC alt gearing video. Just keep in mind, from the current price of MATIC up to that structural resistance line is nearly 30%. It's 28.62%. When MATIC gets above that structural resistance, it's going to party. I hope you found the content useful. Everything I do for you is free. Please be aware of scammers. I do these videos to assist you to be more of a financial blessing to yourself and those you love. Please reach out and say hi and let me know where you're viewing from. It's always nice to say hi to people. And our community, please say hi to new people and answer each other's questions. It's really lovely to support each other. I see quite a number of people doing that. I'm very touched when I see it. You're building a community. That's so beautiful. If you would like twice daily updates, 7 days a week on price movements in the crypto market, please subscribe to YouTube and follow me on Twitter. Always remember, crypto is volatile. Always prepare yourself for the best and worst case scenarios. Reality will likely be between them. Take care, stay safe, and see you next time. Bye for now.